Hello and welcome back to the video on the rest of the debate and to Hellinacell 2022 out of 10. And yeah, it's an intriguing card, this one. There's no major stars, no like Roman Reigns, but you know, there is still some interesting matches on there. Lots of rematches, even from WrestleMania really. But yeah, I mean, like, it's an interesting card, so let's get straight into it. And it kicked off with the usual promos video for the upcoming matches before we had this first match tonight, which was a triple threat women's tag team title match. Oscar and Belair teamed up early in the match and sent Becky outside the ring before facing each other. Lynch returned to the ring and took a slam from the middle rope thanks to Belair. Oscar then beat up both her opponents as the crowd cheered on her before Belair came back with a buckle bomb to take her down. Big time backstand reverse KOD before the EST of WWE hit a top rope move on both opponents and almost got a double pin. The Empress of Tomorrow then locked in double ankle locks, but it was reversed and she was sent outside. Becky got the disarmer on Bianca, but she almost reversed into a KOD. Big time backstand tried to disarm her on Oscar, who was then locked in the Oscar lock, but the holes were broken. Bianca was sent outside before Becky got the manhandle slam on Oscar. Lynch was about to get the pin, but the EST rushed back into the ring and sent her outside before getting the pin on Oscar for herself. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Decent match to kick off the show. Fast-paced action between probably three of the best women's wrestlers in the world. So yeah, of course it was going to be really good. Bianca getting the win is the right result for me. And yeah, the title reign continues. Good stuff. 7 out of 10. Backstage, Cedric Alexander trying to talk MVP, but was told that the Hurt Business was over for good and would never reunite, frickin' finally, before Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP took place. A handicap match kicked off slowly and MVP laid down some strikes early on, but Lashley was able to shake it off. Omos stepped back in and took Lashley down before MVP came back and started pounding on him. Omos was tagged back in and Lashley tried for a vertical suplex, but ended up in fireman's carry before taking splashes in the corner. MVP came in and sent the Almighty outside with a running boot before Omos sent him through the barricades. Back in the ring, Lashley hit a spear on MVP, but Omos took over before he could get the pin. Cedric Alexander interfered and Omos sent him back outside the ring, but the distraction allowed Lashley to hit spear on a Nigerian. MVP was then back in the ring and Lashley locked in the hurt lock, causing him to tap out. But yeah, overall this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. To be honest, kind of the same thing that we've seen a lot between these two, just with MVP and the next for him to take the ball. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of this storyline now, and yeah, probably time for a change really. We then learned at Hellinacell that Cody Rhodes tore his pectoral muscles earlier in the week following his brawl with Seth Rollins, and he added that the American Nightmare will still be competing tonight despite his injuries. I'll go into it later, but Jesus Christ. Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel was up next. Ezekiel was in control early on, hit a top rope move for a near fall before they went outside, and Owens sent him into the barricades. Back in the ring, KO got a few near falls while taunting Ezekiel and saying he was a liar. KO then tried for the senton up top, but Ezekiel cancelled it before sending him into the corner for some rapid kicks. Owens took splashes in a corner and a spine buster, but managed to kick out. Owens was then still yelling about Elias when Ezekiel caught him with a huge knee strike. KO then sent his opponent into the corner, hit a cannonball and a stunner before getting a win. And yeah, to be honest, this just gets 5 out of 10 for me. It felt very brief, really. The match could have been better. And yeah, also, what's the point of having Ezekiel come back? You know, and he's come back as a bit of a funny character, but yeah, it really doesn't really mean much if he gets beat so convincingly in his first pay-per-view match back. I'm not sure it does. So yeah, to be honest, I wasn't a massive fan of this. AJ Styles, Finn Balor and Liv Morgan then battling Judgment Day. We start off with a brawl in the ring before AJ assisted Liv, who hit a huge leaping Hurricane Rana as she took down Rhea. Ripley then took control of the match and was tossing Liv around the ring before tags were made and AJ and Priest stepped in. Styles got some big moves in before tagging in Balor. Edge tags him after Balor and was sent outside and sent him into the announcer Seth before bringing him back to the ring. Balor was isolated as Priest and Edge unloaded on him in the corner. Edge and AJ were then in the ring and Peach tried to interfere but was taken down before Styles got a near fall. The Rated R Superstar then blocked the Silas crash as the rest of the teams brawled at ringside. AJ got a phenomenal forearm, but Damien broke the pin. Morgan and Ripley were then back in and Liv got a near fall off a big move before being taken down with a suplex. A brawl broke out once more after Team Styles sent Judgment Day outside and hit some big moves. Styles got another forearm but was sent outside by Edge. Balor hit a sling blade and tried for a coup de grace, but Ripley got in his way. Liv took her down, but Edge used the distraction to hit a spear and get the win. Yeah, this gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I mean, like, it was a decent match, but it kind of just felt like the Lashley Omos match yesterday. It's the third time Judgment Day have gone over now in singles and now a tag team match. And yeah, it's just getting a bit repetitive, to be honest. So yeah, it probably gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Backstage, Cedric told Lashley that he interfered in the match for himself, not to out the almighty win. Lashley seemed grateful, but warned him never to interfere with his matches there again before walking off. Just face it, mate, Cedric, no one wants to be your friend. Just go and find something to do. Chase the 24/7 title or something like that, G. Before we got Baron Corbin versus Madcap Moss. Corbin was in control early on and sent Moss outside and into the LED boards on the stage. Moss then turned it around and tried to get a steel chair, but Corbin hit him with it instead and sent him over the announcer's desk. Back in the ring, Corbin got a chokeslam from the apron before beating him with a steel chair. Happy then set up a chair in the corner, but Madcap sent him into it instead. Moss then beat Corbin with a steel chair before hitting a DDT on it. Moss then hit a few stairs before sending Corbin outside, and he came back with a chop block and sent him over the barricades before wrapping a chair around his neck and tossing him into the announcer's table. Corbin brought the steel steps into the ring after that before Moss reversed the slam and hit him with an exploded suplex. Madcap then hit the punchline and put a chair around Corbin's neck before hitting him with the steel steps and picking up the win in a brutal finish. But yeah, a really good one as well. I mean, like, it's a decent match, probably exceeded my expectations, but once again, it just kind of felt unnecessary, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Theory versus Mr Ferrari was up next. Ali got some big moves in before Theory stepped outside to regroup. Back in the ring as the champion was starting to get frustrated as Ali hit a few more strikes while managing to cancel the champ. Ali then got a top rope crossbody to the outside before trying for another, but Theory dropped him from the ropes to ringside. Ali came back with a spinning heel kick before getting a neck breaker. Mr Ferrari reversed the finisher and locked in the hole, but the champ got his hands on the bottom rope. Ali missed his finisher, then took a chop block before Theory lifted him with the A-Town down for the victory. And yeah, this probably gets 6 out of 10 again. I mean, like, it's kind of what we've seen all along with these two. Fully expected the way it would go, and yeah, it's exactly what it did. I have to say, there's a long way for the US title to be defended on a premium live event. I mean, it kind of just felt there, and that's just kind of a summary of that title at the moment. But anyway, moving on then to the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' ring gear resembled that of Cody's father, Dustin, as he had a double insult and mind game. Rhodes' right shoulder and chest looked terribly bruised as the match kicked off. He then hit the Cody cutter, but it hurt him more than it hurt Rollins. Cody locked in the finger four leg lock before Rollins dug up a kendo stick from under the ring and attacked Rhodes on his injured arm. Rollins then drove the stick into Rhodes' bruise before he got up and took the weapon away. Rollins tossed Cody into the cell wall and drove him into the dropkick through the ropes. Seth jabbed him with the pointy end of the kendo stick some more before slamming him into the ring post. Rollins then hit Rhodes with the steel steps before getting a table in the ring and setting up. Rollins then sent the American Nightmare up on the table and it went for a splash, but Cody rolled out of the way as Seth crashed through it. Cody got a cowbell attached to a bull rope from under the ring and tied it on his own arm before handing the other end to Rollins, who did the same. Cody used the rope to flip Rollins and hit a super kick before bonking him in the head with a cowbell for a near fall. Rollins then used the rope to send Cody into the ring post before setting up another table in the corner. Rollins then hit the crossroads before he was powerbombed through the table in the corner. Cody reversed the pedigree and hit one of his own before getting a sledgehammer thrown under the ring. Rollins got stumped before hitting the crossroads on Cody, but Rollins followed out with one of his own. He then got a sledgehammer, but Rollins took it away from him before he could strike. Cody hit two more crossroads before hitting him with the hammer. The Visionary went down and Rhodes pinned him 1, 2, 3, and this was just absolutely incredible. Cody Rhodes, yeah, I have to say I don't think we'll be seeing him for a little while because it does sound like he could be out for some period of time. But yeah, I mean, like, just incredible what he did. Yeah, so it gets an 8 out of 10 from me. I'm just probably lost for words really about how impressive that performance was with that bloody bruise. Just unbelievable. Overall, Hellinacell gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, it just felt like an average premium live event. Don't get me wrong, the main event was brilliant. Love the opening match as well. But except for that, it kind of just felt like the third time we've seen a lot of those matches. And yeah, it really get at tiresome. But, you know, the first match was brilliant. The last match was incredibly brilliant. So yeah, good stuff on the whole. But anyway, guys, that's it for video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, don't forget to comment, and follow us. I think it's for daily football news and subscribe to the channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.